Starters so harm me, and those who create of my path to liberation and damnation. Let experience happiness be separate from suffering safely. I will establish them in the state of past perfect complete precious Buddhahood. Malay downwards no parasi bege. Torba dam je jembe barde ju parase ba dam je so sepe. Mananga nyambe semje dam je dewa dam de. Dongara dang rar nyor de lana me ba yanda ba. Zobe sanjo rumbo je do barsa. Achieving achieving. I perform virtuous deeds with the body. No enter this time tomorrow. I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the kind rule Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadang. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dhakas, Dhakinis, and the Dharma gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Enter in the heart of enlightenment. I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of a Bodhisattva. As previous Buddhas invested in enlightened mind and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path are true for the benefit of all sentient beings giving birth to Bodhicitta, and I apply myself to complete the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge under enlightenment by the merit of generosity and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faith, more mind to all Tathagatas and the 10 directions. Those have already reached the Tathagata state. Those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagata still to come. Through the power of Samatha Buddha's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I posted to them, multiply in my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless Buddhas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddha and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, honoring oils, manifesting light and fragrant incense. I make offering to them of fine garments, perfume and purple, poured high as moon meru, and orange the most beautiful way. I visualize in the highest, most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I posted to Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of great Bodhisattva Samantabhata. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all Buddhas in the 10 directions of the great Bodhisattvas and the Pachika Buddhas. Those have attained Aharaship, those have entered the path of Aharaship and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the highest way of Dharma, as like dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions, leading them gradually to the enlightened states. I supplicate those Buddha and pass into Parinirvana to living long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth, in order to benefit of all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through postations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and prayer, sprinkling with the sancted water and stir with the flowers. It is adorned with the Meru, the spring mountain, the four continents, the sun and the moon. As the Buddha fell out for it, may all sentient beings attain the happiness as the Buddha feels. I offer the outer, inner, and secret offerings with my body, word, and that all is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseech, and praying, for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Om Guru Rena Mandala Punza Minga Samand Savarena Samaye and provided the thousand words. You are the victor Varjadara without drop. I bow at the feet of Father Jikti Sungu. Continue not think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Despair darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize unlimited nature of mine. The police stand aware of the dharma of the two vehicles and the combination according to disposition, the likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of two worlds, and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has a compassion for all beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara as a father for an only son. Like a thunderclap, he awakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60th branch of Haramani's speech. He wears the wisdom silver to cast settling of suffering and to dissipate darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Majority, adorned by the 112 son of Buddha, to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Om Arapasanade, Om Arapasanade, Om Arapasanade, Om Arapasanade, Om Arapasanade, Om Arapasanade. Om Arapasanade, 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 Om Arapasanade. Om Arapasanade, Om Wange Shoremo, 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 Om Wange Shoremo. Om Wange Shoremo, Om Wange Shoremo, Om Wange Shoremo, Om Wange Shoremo. You who are the perfect youthful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and dispel darkness of worldly ignorance, are prostrate before you and press to Manjushiri. Yone Gulin Janwai Po, Yeshe Dume Rab the Bar, Jede the Momesara, Jambar Yang La Zanzer Do, Dange Doje Jaje Reisen Dro, Yenje Mado Deje Bonjomba. Serje lembo tawar jibeke shaje jarbe jala guzanze dojen changjen de lonar tang marba melai jije gambo ba hamoy pa jarwain di gombe Kaju lama nam lai zorwan de rumen juje yenje bodang ne de som sanje genje ngo nye ransen jige ngo son don ze pe zawe lame ja lai zorwan de. Good afternoon, evening, good morning. I'm going to share with you today completion stage teaching. So I hope everyone has teaching sadhana. Do you have in the Zoom, everyone?
We're working on that right now, Kempo.
Or you working?
We're creating it.
Or you have the link, or what are you doing?
We can use the last chapter. Is that where you're teaching from?
Yes.
We can create a document if you would like us to.
Okay. It's from in this stage of meditation book. It's here is mostly has, yeah. Okay, so in this book stage of meditation, awakening the mind. So this teaching has 8 chapters. How to meditate on the 4 thoughts that turn the mind, how to meditate on love, how to meditate on compassion, how to meditate on bodhicitta. So this first 4 chapter is a part of the method. And then last 4 chapter, how to meditate on shamatha, how to meditate on vipassana, how to meditate on development stage of skillful means, how to meditate on completion stage of wisdom. So the last 4 chapter is wisdom. So all this Buddha's teaching subsumed to 2 bodhicittas. You know, we talk about the relative truth bodhicitta, absolute truth bodhicitta. So first 4 is relative truth bodhicitta, part of bodhicitta. The second 4 is called absolute truth bodhicitta. So today I'm going to share with you the absolute truth bodhicitta. The absolute truth bodhicitta, we have different levels. So today sharing is a completion stage of wisdom. When you're going to meditate this completion stage of meditation, so actually good is, of course, the first step is mindful meditations, and then shamatha meditation. So then vipassana. So this completion stage is vipassana and Mahamudra is already compounded together. Vipassana in this sacred meditation, stage of meditation, vipassana is specifically followed by the Mahamudra tradition. But when we today talk about this, how to meditate on the complete stages, Mahamudra tradition and the Mahayana is bring together, you know, the together, also Dzogchen teaching. All these 3 great 3 teachings bring together is called completion stage of wisdom. So that's I'm going to share with you today here. So then this is a chapter 8, how to meditation stage of wisdom. And the completion stage, when rest in the mind and completely relax the mind in its natural state, there's this very open, clear awareness. So now it's this sharing is directly, you know, directly talking about the absolute truth, you know, nature state, nature mind state meditation. So the reason is relative truth teachings already before, you know, in this book, first 4 chapter is relative truth. So last 4 chapter is absolute truth chapter, but especially this completion stage is absolute, the highest level point. So that's why here I know in the completion stage, so they rest in the mind. So our mind resting. So where is resting? Resting in the nature state. What is nature state? It's a non-dual state, non-conceptual. So that state is called natural states. So mind, we have to resting in the natural states. So, and that is called completely relaxing. So in the natural state, it's completely relaxing. Your mind is relaxing. The reason is because it's no dualistic state. We don't have a dualistic conceptual. So mind is no resting, always followed by dualistic conceptual. So long as you get into the natural states, then your mind is completely relaxing. It's resting. The mind in its natural state. So there is this vivid, means then when your mind is resting, so that time then your mind is no same is right now our delusion consciousness. So your mind is get in the natural states, then that time you see your own mind is vivid and open, clear awareness. So it's a clear awareness is aware everything, recognize, but not stuck with any object, physical things. So not abide any object. This morning we share the teaching, talk about 6 different objects. Mind is free from these 6 different objects. No abide fixation to any 6 different objects, free from that state. So that's and then that's why our mind is a clear awareness is opened. So look directly at the essence of this mind. Then this teaching, we're sharing this Garuda teaching is very similar, but it's the same, actually same. The main point always the same. The song of Garuda always say, look to your own nature. Look to the Rigpa, right? Here also say, look directly at the essence of this mind. Look means you not talking about this eyeball is looking to the object. You no need to look to yourself. I no need to looking to yourself. Look directly at means like looking to your up there already we talked clear awareness. That mind have to looking onto your own nature. So directly at the essence of this mind. So then you see your own nature mind directly. When you seeing your nature mind, what it is like, which kind your mind is, which kind you see, recognize. Then really look into the nature of your own mind and see for yourself. In looking onto your own nature is no thoughts, no emotions, your mind awareness, looking into your own nature, then that time you see it yourself, means you really see your own true nature. When we have thoughts, emotions, dualistic conceptuals, that time we're not seeing our own nature. Seeing our own nature means no thoughts, emotions. So your mind become present, clear, awareness. At that moment, looking to on your own nature, you seeing your nature. Mind see your mind and see for yourself. You really see your own nature. Once you have become conversant in this practice and you have a conviction, so once you have become conversant means like you are become used to your practice, you already habituate. You know you knowing what you're doing. Your mind is become into that. Your meditation is more used to in this practice, and you have a conviction. So then you can really knowing what you're doing. There is the sense of mind as being this vivid presence, but without any to pinpoint or identify. So your mind is there, no nothingness, because here says sense of mind as being this vivid presence means always present there, but without anything to pinpoint or identify. You cannot find something exist solely permanent. So when you meditate, you're looking onto your own nature. You seeing your own nature means you're not seeing something physical exist. So you're seeing your own nature means present vivid clarity, be there, with awareness. So when you meditate, you get your own experience, not seeing something special, physical, and something, you're seeing when you meditate, like enlightening states and enlightening form body. So that is not in that case. This one is not completion stage in meditation. So we have to seeing our own nature free from all the extremes. So that's why without anything to pinpoint or identify, you cannot find anything like physically exist things there. If you find something, then your meditation completion stage is incorrect. So the main point is you nothing find, that is you found. You're not seeing anything, that is a seeing. You don't really recognize anything, that is recognized. So that's the way of this Mahamudra explain. That is, when we sharing the teaching, saying the words, even sometimes not that makes sense for you, but when you meditate, you recognize your own nature, you have your own experience. So that's the main point. We have to knowing that. There is just this clear. So then you don't, pinpoint or identify then what happened. There is just this clear. Clear means mind is clear. When you meditate, you are in the natural state, your mind is very clear, present. It's vivid, open, awareness. That and awareness. So means that is free from thoughts, emotions. And here is sharing about the clear, vivid, open awareness that is present. So many different aspects. But when you meditate, you don't follow this one by one, this aspect, different aspects. You're just recognize nature all these qualities inseparable. So otherwise you're picking up one by one qualities, then you are not in the meditating the non-door states, because you get dualistic and conceptual again. That's why when we meditate, when you when you practice, when you hear the teaching, it's a little bit different. Teaching is have to one by one, cannot put everything together. So when you meditate, everything's become oneness together. So you cook the food, you have to chop the vegetable, everything's one by one. And maybe you cook many different food, vegetables, different things. But when you eat or put in one plate, eat together. So when you're going to do the laundry, so you pick up one by one your clothes and put into the machine. But when washing machine, don't do the one by one, just all is together, washing together. Same, when you meditate, all this, whatever we're talking about here, qualities is bring into the chain. Then, have to one by one, we cannot put all this is together. So that's why it's when you hear the teaching, when you meditate, it's a little bit different. Not little bit different, actually big different. So, teaching is words. It's when I share many times, pointing the finger, pointing the moon. And the finger is not moon, same thing, the words is not the reality truth. So in this reality true, no door, and when we're sharing the words, is different because the moon and the finger is different, but finger pointing the moon, so that time you don't have to watch the finger, have to watch the moon. Same, when we share the teaching, so you cannot start with the words. You have to follow by the meaning. And what, teaching this top, sharing the meaning of that, we have to follow. There is just clear, very open awareness. There is a present and aware. It's let conceptualize or define it as being like this or like that. So that's what we do, when we meditate. There's no possible way to actually articulate, conceptualize, or define it as being like this or like that. But when we meditate, we say, yeah, this is right. So no, I'm meditating. This is correct. Then your mind is already their conceptual thoughts you create. Or then your minds, follow the thoughts or something wrong. You say, oh, no, I'm not doing correct. No, I'm not correct doing meditation. I'm wrong. So your mind is already all the time navigating yourself. Create all the time conceptual thoughts. So that's the hardest part, because the reason is our mind is already used to follow the conceptual thoughts, dualistic, many lifetimes. So that habit is already very strong. That's why even we are in the meditation states, so we always articulate and conceptualize or define it as being like this or like that. But that is all is mistake and wrong. So that's why, when we meditate, actually this morning, the very profound statements, actually this morning sharing the teaching is very profound. So the mind, stay, no moving or moving, whatever happen, or we have to recognize nature requires, displaying. It's called the emanation, or recognize, awareness, recognize. If follow the thoughts, recognize your mind, follow the thoughts, movement, you recognize movement, your mind, and mind is just stay and calm, peacefully abide, recognize that, be in that state. So actually, your mind is calm, stay in the present. Your mind is moving, shaking, but the main point we have to just awareness, recognize that what's going on. Then you don't have to do anything to change that. So then that means both are actually meditating, both are correct. Your mind is moving, also good. Your mind is resting, also good. Like just need awareness, recognize that what's going on. So no need to change anything. So otherwise, we doing this, defined it as being like this or like that. We didn't organize ourselves, We're making decisions ourselves. Okay, no, I'm doing great, and you feel good. Then sometimes you think, oh, I'm not doing great. You feel bad yourself. Okay, I'm not, pressures, or we just creating ourselves. That's happening always for us when we meditate. But actually, that are not necessary, So in this case, right now, talking about non-draw conceptual means in the resting nature states, we cannot, this make judgmental, and this is right, this is wrong, or no, I'm meditating, or no, my mind is shaking. So that kind of conceptual is have to let go. Just your mindful awareness, recognize, then is moving, let move. Is resting, let resting. So the both are correct. It is just knowing, clear and unceasing, vivid, present, nakedly ever. So that is the, nature mind. So explain or introducing. When you meditate, it's just knowing, means you knowing yourself. That time is clear. Not same as a closed eye, you're not seeing when you close eye. But when you meditate, your mind should be in the present natural state, you knowing clearly. You aware everything, but your mind is not specifically followed by song, not specifically followed by object, not specifically followed by taste, smell, not abide any of these objects. But you aware everything clearly, present. So then that time you have different experience, your feeling is different. If your mind is abide or, chasing this object, fixation to the object, then your mind is not resting. When your mind is resting in the natural states, you can aware everything, these 6 senses, objects, but not specifically stuck anything. Then that time you have a very clear and knowing, you feel very joyful. So that time then you feel the blessing too. Unceasing, vivid, present. So nakedly aware means nakedly no thoughts, no emotions, and your mind is just present awareness. And then that time we are in the natural states meditating. So, in these states, I share many times for you, because when we try to do, when try to get in these natural states, it takes long time to into that natural states. So when you meditate, example, when 30 minutes, we do the 30 minutes every morning meditate, but sometimes very hard to get into this natural states. Our meditations can be mindful meditation. So sometimes maybe you're doing mindful. I also do mindful, mind resting with the body, resting with the breath, resting with the object. And that kind of using first step, that helps become mind calm down, relax. And then using some different techniques. So try to get into these nature states. But sometimes like kind of, fear this experience, what is introducing natural mind, but then right away, thoughts arise, mind followed again, conceptual thoughts. So that often happening, but you're resting a little bit longer and longer, then get into this point, knowing clear, unceasing, vivid, present, naked awareness. So sometimes you can stay a little longer, then that time you really wanted to stay. You don't want to stop, meditate. You wanted to be more in that nature state. You feel joy, bliss, and really resting peacefully. So we have to habituate that experience. We cannot attach to that, just aware, recognize in the nature. Then we have to habituate. So that is meditating. It is like you are seeing something you never saw before. I'm correct, right? Is sharing is correct or no? It's also like, this part is same is like what is called spatial insight meditation. So this word is we have in the same is spatial insight meditation. It is like you are seeing something you never saw before. So the main point is to see spatial insight is Mayaminka, then Vajrayana have Mahamudra and Dzogchen. So this all together is when I create this is completion stage. So everything is included here. So this word is come from, exactly when you hear the teaching from Mayaminka is spatial insight meditation. So it is like you are seeing something you never see before. Means when you're into that nature state, then you're seeing something yourself, you recognize yourself, what you're doing. But that seeing is like before we don't have any experience. So that's why I call spatial insight means we never see something before. And then when you meditate, you get something experience yourself. You recognize, that is something right. You get your experience is not dropped. And then that is correct, something you never see before. We never have the experience seeing. So that means you seeing on nature. You are experiencing something you never experienced before. So that means like we never have this experience before anything. When you have this teaching, you meditate, then you recognize your own nature. So you have something, your own experience. And that is called you are experiencing something you never experienced before. Then that time we're doing right, meditate. You thinking about, oh, this is right, this is wrong, when you making decisions yourself, so that time is not drawing meditating, not incorrect. Because that is not, you don't have something before experience, never have experienced something. So you don't have any experience, then you have something is called, is meditating. You experience something you never experienced before. You know it. You know it means like you recognize yourself. So that time then, all these teachings, words, what it's saying, what talking about, you really know, recognize. And then you're into these nature states, you meditate. This each teaching words has very powerful, and like your, hang like touching to your heart, something like, you feel really powerful, each words. So that means like you have something, your drawing meditation is correct and you get experience. That's why, this who has realizer meditating teachings. So the teacher, the practitioners hear about the teaching. They have very strong connections. So, holding that, words holding you, like, grab you, heart. So energies, like you feel that. That is means like that person has that experience practice. So that's why, depending, someone practice always bodhicitta. Think that someone talk about bodhicitta, the fear is very strong connection arise. So that means that person is practice bodhicitta. Someone meditate, practice love. So then the someone sharing the teaching about love, you hear about love connection to your heart. So that means you have practicing love meditation. Someone like study, meditate, practice emptiness, followed by Mayamika tradition. So then they hear about this interdependent teachings. The teachings holding you very strong, powerfully connection. So that means because you have that, experience practice. So that's why here, we're sharing this right now is this three greatest together. Three great means like great of Mayamika, great of Mahamudra, great of Dzogchen, three together. So when you hear these teachings, you feel very strong connections. If long as you have that, that means you are meditating in the practice. So someone no meditate practice, when you hear the teachings names, but just not that much connections, you say yeah, okay, right, is correct. It's like, I think it's okay. So that kind of you get feelings, but not really strongly. The words grab you, holding you. So that's the difference is. Then, meditators, practitioners hear about the teachings that sometimes like they have very strong, joyful devotion. So the arise tears from the eye, but not emotion crying, tear is come from your eye. Is through the devotion connections. And very strong connection. So that means like the person has practiced the teaching. So then each word has very powerful. The teaching has powerful or not is depending our meditator practitioners, not the teaching only. Which one you really practice, that teaching is very powerful for you. So you are experiencing something you never experienced before. You know it, you believe it. So that time, we believe it ourselves, no choice, because you have your own experience. But you going to share about your experience for someone that the other person never even understand what you're talking about. They don't know what you're talking. Maybe they think you are crazy. That's why don't share that much, okay? When you get experience. Yeah. So the experience is you believe yourself. You recognize it yourself. You have something, your own experience, even not this experience, another something, just generally, worldly, you have really happy, joy, exciting news, you get something good things, you have something really joyful, you want to share someone like expression you have, but the person just yeah, they don't feel anything, don't recognize, then they think you are just crazy, right? Sometimes we have very sad emotions, so much sadness, but that time you cannot hold yourself. You want to share someone, but the person don't give you reaction correct. Same as you have that feeling because they don't understand what you're talking about. They don't have that feeling, you know. That's just everybody says sorry for you, sorry. That's it. You just head moving like this. Sorry. Okay, that's it. Nothing, anything they can feel, you know. So same here. This is more than that, more beyond that. They cannot feel, some sorrows, happiness, and the suffering. Even they have experience, but when you share, they don't know, recognize. But in talk about this experience, they never ever get anyway. So that time, you believe yourself it. You are sure, but you cannot put into words. That time is no words to sharing, the put words. So that's why, the experience, meditators' own experience is the same is mute person eat the candy. So mute person eat candy, that's share the candy's taste, sugar's taste. Okay, sugar is better, right? Sugar's taste, but they cannot explain for others. So the sugar is like we say, like best taste, okay? So that is a long time ago, ancient time. The sugar is the best, the test, good one, positive. So that share that. Maybe right now you have different like best test for you. So think about that test. If you eat, if think about it, you are mute, so you cannot share for others. You have your own experience, but you cannot put in the word to sharing for others. So same in this meditation experience, when you feel you get the experience, you cannot share to others because no words to share. Then why are we sharing here? This is words, but it's more beyond this experience. The words is all is dualistic, conceptual. Yeah. So when we talk about the means, like then already subject and object there. Actions. When you meditate, you have to go beyond this subject, object, actions, three of this. So free from three spheres, right? In the prayers, we have a lot. Free from three spheres means like no subject, no object, no actions, free from that state. So that is the true reality experience. When we share the teaching, we cannot beyond these three. If I go beyond in that, then we need a realization to hear the teaching. Realization is then we are in the meditation states, directly into that state, like see the Buddha Shakyamuni and mind connections, Dharma Kaya teaching to the Sambhona Kaya is not words. So there, meditator practitioners into that state, then you directly receiving experience. Through the experience, you receiving the teaching. So then come to in dualistic states, we cannot share that way. So then they put right down, and they put words and the sharing. But until we don't practice and meditate, we don't have any ideas still. But good thing, just we recognize what something in there, something in there beyond our capacity. So that beyond our capacity, we knowing through the meditation, we have to recognize. This is what is known as a completion stage. In the way completely perform that, this completion stage. This awareness, this present knowing, this clear open, unborn, unstatic, unceasing, vivid present is also what is known as. So this awareness, this present, okay, so this already we talked very similar again, right? Knowing, this clear open, unborn, unstatic, unceasing, vivid present is also what is known as. So this is, if you can memorize these kind of words, it's really good. So then when you meditate, use this support. These instructions, when you're in the meditate, you just think about, awareness. So that helps, bring awareness. Present. So then your mind is okay, recognize, not follow the past, not follow the future, and the present knowing this clear, right? Clear means not like door and foggy and shut down everything, right? Everything's opened when you meditate. Sometimes people think meditate means everything's shut down, So this clear open, unborn is emptiness, not exist. It's unborn. This sharing the teaching is we don't understand what means unborn really. So when you are meditating in the natural state, nice. You see yourself is not exist. You feel all this, everything is you not really stuck anything. Everything is become same as reflection, and same as rainbow. You not really anything stuck with or this object and the song like senses objects. So you aware everything, but you clearly recognize, but you not stuck anything. So you seeing this all form is not really truly exist there. You feel that, recognize the experience arising when you meditate. So that is called unborn. Truly there no exist. Unstatic. So unborn is when we are in the right dualistic relative truth, using this logic investigate, we can approving its emptiness, but still, this everything is exist for us still, because we have strong fixations. I can touch, I can hold, I can hear, and I can, use this all thing like solidly exist everything for us, right? So even we can approving logically emptiness relatively, but still you cannot have that experience. When you are in the natural states, then you don't start any this object. All this object is become you fear is not truly exist. The experience arising in the meditation states, not the relative truth states. Do you understand what I'm talking? Okay. So relative truth, we can approving using don't have that experience, understanding what means unborn or unstatic. So unceasing vivid presence is also what is known as Mahamudra or Dharmakaya. So that is called Mahamudra or Dharmakaya. It's actually same meaning. You know, we talk about the last way, the what is called the also Garuda teaching. The Garuda teaching so many names, but main point all is the same. This philosophical different tradition using different names, but the main point is all is just same. Is Mahamudra or Dharmakaya. Is actually talking about reality, truth. This is also the atomic truth. So there is atomic true, absolute true, three jewels of refuge. The true meaning or essence of the mantra, mandala, and so forth. So now we talk about atomic true, three jewel of refuge. So what is the absolute truth refuge? Absolute truth refuge recognize our own nature. So that is called absolute truth refuge. Relative truth refuge, then we have a Buddha, we have a Dharma, we have a Sangha, and then I say I'm going to follow them, you know. So I promise myself and follow that. So that is relative truth refuge. But absolute true refuge our own true nature mind. So when you recognize your own nature, so that is called absolute truth refuge. So then that time, you know, Dharma is come from you, Buddhas come from you. So your bodies, your Sangha, your quality, you know, this teaching, we talk about the loving compassion, or this four measurable, that is a Dharma. And then, you know, your nature is Buddha. So Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is all discovered from our own, you know, body or like within our own self, not somewhere else. So that is called absolute truth refuge. So long as you know, realize true nature, become your this true three jewels of refuge. Then true meaning or essence of the mantra, mandala, and so forth means, so the true yadam is our own nature mind. True guru also our own nature mind. So we have different levels. First we say like first beginners rely on ordinary guru and the teacher. Second, Tambo Moy Lama de parte Tanga Pechati. Okay, so second is Dharma in the teaching is our own guru. Third, our mind is our own guru. So auto level guru is ordinary guru. We have to rely on receive teaching. Second, you know the Dharma, you know, rely on Dharma. Dharma is our own guru. Third, your mind realize, you know, you have realization, your own mind. So then your mind is your own guru. That is secret level, absolute true, highest level guru is your mind is your own guru. So that mind is your guru, that mind is your yadam deity, that is your mandala. So that's why here it says true meaning or essence of the mantra. Mantra, this yadam deity, mandala or yadam deity is mandala, and so forth. All is you know, through the Mahamudra realization. When you realize this all true is then arise. Right there in that moment of knowing, the three kayas are encompassed. So when you recognize your own true nature, nature, there is in that moment of knowing means that moment, then Tirikayas are encompassed, means Tirikaya also discovered there. So we have outer level Tirikayas, inner level Tirikayas. In this case, it's talking about the sacred level Tirikayas. It's all three these kayas within our own natural mind, not separate than our natural mind. So that's why, you have to know what you're talking about. Even you ask questions, outer level Tirikaya or inner level Tirikaya or secret level Tirikayas is totally different. Sometimes people misunderstanding. You hear this in secret level Tirikaya mind, but then your ask question is talking about take to the relative truth. So relative truth Tirikaya is different than right now you're hearing here. This is called absolute truth Tirikayas. We have to discover our own nature, Tirikayas, within our own mind. The basic nature that cannot be pinpointed or fixed anywhere at all is Dharmakaya. Then nature mind is emptiness, free from all the conceptual or the extremes. So that's why basic nature that cannot be pinpointed or fixed anywhere at all. So it's Dharmakaya, free from 4 extremes, free from 8 extremes. So that's all extremes is Nagarjuna shared. Like sometimes he talk about 4 extremes, sometimes he talk about 8 extremes. So that's all extremes bring to the 2 extremes is like nihilism, internalism. So free from that. So that is called Dharmakaya. The nature readings that is never ceasing is a Sambhonakaya. The nature is always there, readings. That's never ceasing, means never lost, that is called Sambhonakaya. Then these 2 kayas, known or non-fixed, are Nirmanakaya. So become this Dharmakaya, Sambhonakaya, known or non-fixed. That's called the Nirmanakaya. So the main point is, see, your nature is emptiness. Your nature mind is emptiness. That is Dharmakaya. Your nature mind is always present clarity and awareness. So that is called Nirmanakaya. Sambhonakaya. Then these 2 kayas, known door means inseparable. Known door is inseparable. So no subject and object. That is called Nirmanakaya. Tirikaya is inseparable within your nature mind. This very mind of yourself, this continuum, this original promoter knowing, innately aware, vividly clear and present, is emptiness and compassion inseparable. Okay, so this very mind of yours means this very mind of yours is talking about right now, this present moment, this ordinary mind, okay? This continuum means that mind stream, that mind stream, this original promoter knowing means that mind, the original is promoter knowing, is promoter wisdom. So the main point is right now our mind is deluded. It's actually called the consciousness, right? Sometimes we go to more details, the different consciousness. Then go to more branches, it's like 52 mental formations. So many the branches arising. But this original pro-modern knowing means you don't follow this object mind. or is bring into on the in the nature truth, looking into the root or the original one, So then that is called pro-motor knowing, means pro-motor wisdom. So that is called Buddha. Understand or no? Okay, oh, it's good then. Yeah, so you all understand clearly. Okay, so then this original pro-motor knowing, innately aware means like we know losing something, right? And innately aware means you have awareness, recognize, vividly clear and present. So that is empty with clarity. Emptiness, clarity is inseparable. And then that is present. It's emptiness and present. So same time, it's emptiness and compassion inseparable. So no, in this natural mind, not only emptiness and clarity, awareness is inseparable, right? Emptiness, compassion is inseparable. So this compassion is also absolute truth compassion. This compassion is actually immeasurable compassion, unconditional compassion. When we meditate practice, they have two different levels of compassions. The relative truth compassion and absolute truth compassion. Absolute truth compassion is arising when you meditate Mahamudra. So that compassion is called immeasurable and absolute truth compassion. When you meditate, thinking about our mother sentient beings, and then we wishing all our mother sentient beings free from suffering, that intention or aspiration is actually relative to the compassion, because we create, right? And we have subject and object there. It's relative to the compassion. But absolute truth, the compassion is when you meditate Mahamudra, and then arising the compassion. So you see that compassion also inseparable with the natural mind, is emptiness. And within emptiness, then arising compassion, So that's why last week we shared this Yamitaka teaching, and then there has 3 different levels of compassion. Do you remember, or already gone? Almost gone, but I'm thinking about where I talk about this. So then right away, okay, I remember, last week we shared this 3 different levels of compassion, right? Do you remember? Huh? Absolutely. Wow. There's here saying is they don't remember here. I don't know in the Zoom. I hope you all remember that one. Very honest. There's really honestly no remember. The Yamintaka last week teaching Saturday in this same time, this is the time, we talk about same place is we talk about these 3 different levels of compassion whole Saturday. So then today Saturday all gone. Even no remember what I shared this. I mean that they don't remember hear that. Okay, it's a good thing, emptiness. Yeah. So I told you, last Saturday we talked about this 3 different levels of compassion. The compassion, first one is for, is like compassion for the ordinary beings. Because due to the ignorance and take birth in samsara and have form body and due to that, extremely suffering every single being in samsara. So you recognize that and arising compassion for every single beings. That is the first step. Semjin make means like that. Object is other beings, sentient beings. Compassion arise for others. Then semjin make ninja. Chila make ninja is another compassion is the more higher than that. And when you study the Mayaminka teaching, Sutra traditions, so you recognize all everything's emptiness. You know that. You have that intellectually experience or understanding. And intellectually you have a certainty. Then you also have some levels, meditate level. Due to that, arise compassion for others. Because you think all these beings has actually emptiness, delusion, but they're not one knowing, that delusion and emptiness. Due to that, it's fixation, grasping, suffering in samsara. Arise compassion. Your compassion arising is because you knowing emptiness. Someone not knowing that arising compassion. Yeah. And then the highest level, the last compassion is no door compassion. Mikpa Mipin Ninja is no subject, no object, no actions. So that is not relatively compassion means like, must we have the object and the subject and action compassion for others. But the last one is no draw, you recognize your own nature. And within that nature, mind, naturally compassion is there. So that is called in this compassion, I think. Okay, so 3 different level compassion last way we shared, but this is, I think, it's emptiness and the compassion inseparable is, we can say, the last one, no draw compassion. So this compassion is we cannot create using the object something, right? And thinking about all kindness, mothers, you cannot create this compassion. Then how do we can achieve or accomplishing this compassion practice means when we meditate, you meditate in the nature state, samadhi meditating, Mahamudra. So that time, then you are in the nature, then compassion is naturally arising in your nature state meditating. Also, when you meditate and then you seeing other beings, you meditating samadhi and you see other beings, even bugs is in the running in front of you. So extremely compassion arising for them, because you knowing that all these beings has Buddha nature, true nature, that samadhi every being has, but due to ignorance, they're not possible to recognize that. And your experience and the quality, or that bliss, and then you see others don't have that, arising compassion. So that's also compassion is emptiness, is inseparable with your nature mind. So that is, I think, it's called is emptiness and the compassion is inseparable. Then in this one is all we can use example is the same as the sun. Sun is thing about This very mind of yours means right now just sun shining. This sun is continually this original pro-model knowing means that is like the rare sun it's in the sky where there has that is shining here, right? So that is coming to here. Innately aware, so vividly clear and present. So that sun is shining, but it's the sun shining, but you cannot hold, right? Yes, you cannot cut, you cannot shoot the warpings, cannot destroy this sunshine. So it's always clearly their chance. So then this has is actually empty because you cannot hold, you cannot cut, you cannot do anything, you cannot destroy. That's why the sun is not physical here, shining. You cannot destroy. It's empty, but it's there. We can see clearly. It's the sun is there, and that means the sun is empty and present clearly here. Then the sun is the shining empty present is heat and warm. So it's no sun is present, sun is clear, sun is empty, sun is heat, or this inseparable. The same, the natural mind has all these qualities inseparable, spontaneously present. Do you understand, right? So sun, then actually you go to outside, you look to sun, sun is directly to you, right? You have your sun. Individually, you have their own directly to yourself. Sun is shining to you. So sun didn't have a bias. So we all go right now outside. Okay, sun is shining. Sun shine to someone, sun doesn't like to shine someone, not like that kind of bias. Sun shines for everyone. So nature is no bias, pervasive everyone. Sun shines, doesn't matter which kind of object, just heat to everyone, every object. Same, nature dharmakaya is pervasive for every single beings. So then that's the example here. Compassion, nature, wisdom, or is inseparable. The inseparability of the two truths. Two truths is relative truth and absolute truth. So inseparable, this state is not, we are in the relative truth, like you practice the basic level time teaching. We're not talking about inseparable. So when you meditate, you are in the natural state, so then that time inseparable. Two truths, the inseparable of skillful means and wisdom. The inseparability of development and the completion stages. So then, inseparability of the development and the completion stages. So this is very profound here. So inseparable skillful means and wisdom is we talk about in this book. So first 4th chapter is the relative truth, skillful part. Last 4th chapter is kind of, actually not every word, but more generally is wisdom chapter. So this are inseparable. But no, think about it. When we share the teaching, this teaching is a step by step, right? Follow. But when you practice, all these qualities become oneness, inseparable. So when you meditate, practice, so this practice become together, oneness. So that's why, we talk about 6 parameter. Think about 6 parameter, easy way. 6 parameter, first 3 is skillful part. Last three is wisdom part. Okay. So right, 6 parameter. First is like generosity, second is morality, third is patience. So there 3 is skillful part. And then joyful effort can be either. And meditation, wisdom. So this 2 is the wisdom part. So when we practice, this 6 parameter is go up to 6 times 6 is how many? 36, right? 36 parameter become 6 times 6 is 36 parameter. Why is it called 36 parameter? When you have wisdom, then generosity with wisdom. I mean, the generosity with passion, generosity with joyful effort, generosity, all these parameters together, generosity with wisdom. So all these 6 is become 36 multiply, right?
Yeah.
Multiply change to 36. So actually in the generosity has all these 6 together. So then this actually 6 parameter is without wisdom, other parameter is core, is blind people, same is blind person, 5 blind person, and 1 who has eye person comes 6, right? 1 person has eye, 5 didn't have eye. So this 1 person can take this 5 of them right direction. So that means wisdom taking all these parameter is in the natural states, absolute truth. So that's why, generosity, absolute true wisdom. Morality is absolute truth wisdom. And then practice the patience, also absolute truth wisdom. So all is become wisdom. When you're giving generosity, you no receiving, no giving, no actions, free from 3 spheres. So that is absolute truth generosity. And then that is here is like, see, inseparable with the generosity and all this, long as you have realization, inseparable with the generosity. Your realization is inseparable with the generosity. Then patience also, no object and no us, no practice patience is, free from these 3 spheres. That's a core. Then absolute truth, patience. Then morality also, no subject, no object, no actions, free from 3 spheres. So it's wisdom, recognizes no truly exist, emptiness. So then that is become, is absolute truth, wisdom. So then that practice is called immeasurable. Then that practice is become causes of enlightenment. So otherwise, like your generosity, morality, practice, patience, is you have subject and objects, is still delusion states, So this delusion state practice is you cannot reach to the no-door states. So morality, generosity, patience, joyful effort, all this is become no-door. No-door states, you can have all these 6 parameters inseparably. So that's why here inseparability of 2 truths, inseparability of skillful means and wisdom, then inseparability of the development and the completion stage. So development is a generation stage. Generation stage, we have to visualize the Yidam deities. So, we talk about different levels, stages, meditation, generation stage. So the meditation is like, sometimes we talk about front visualization, right? And then self-visualization. And Daki, so West is like, can someone give me this one? West? Yeah, West. It's I cannot make pronunciation. This is harder to do. It's a short object is better. This one. The West, yes. Pomba, called Pomba. How to call this one? Was.
Yeah, but it can be base too.
West or wise?
Base.
Yes, it can be.
Wise.
No, not wise.
Somebody say wise here. Was.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, I have to drink the tea first. We call West. West. So I call the West. Then make sure you didn't recognize what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the visualizer. See, Chinese is in the West, top of the West. So generation stage followed by three different, front visualizations, self-visualization, and West visualization means like this West is visualized deity here. This West is deity. And when we're ready to empowerment and the blessing, so this have to visualize the Yidam deity. And the nectar is falling to in the West. The nectar is come from the deity. Deity is dissolving through the together mantra or dissolving into the nectar. And then you use the performing, so blessings. Yeah. Okay, so there's three different, like we have this development. And then this three development stage, the essence is completion stage. So essence doesn't matter you visualize the Yidam deity in front, right? You visualize yourself as a deity, you visualize deities in the West. And the point is your nature is inseparable with this deity which visualize you. So that is the completion stage. Your nature, the Rigpa or nature mind, that is deity is inseparable, visualize deities. If you don't knowing this nature Rigpa, nature mind, then you just follow this all the deities, like visualize it there, and I am the deity, and the West is a deity, but not true essence there. Still that practice is not that performed essence. So that's why, generation stage and the completion stages must be inseparable when we practice. So that's why when you meditate a Yidam deity, you must have to have, Mahamudra, this completion stage practice together. So we cannot make separate, Deity is deity, generation stage. Then you think, okay, completion stage, Mahamudra, cannot make separate. When we share the teaching, of course, it's separate, stages, but when you practice, we have to bring together. It's oneness. So that means like your nature and inseparable with all this, we performing deities, visualizing deities, inseparable. So then the practice is very powerful. So all this generation stage is inseparable with the completion stage. Do you understand or no? I thought I shared that is really performed, but you didn't understand. Then Okay. You are tired or no? Hello, are you okay, everyone? So here, so the point is here is still no clear, someone says. True performed. In the Zoom, everyone okay? Yes? Yes, okay, so kind of. So, usually when we share the teaching, then meditator, like many Dharma student, generation stage, completion stage is totally make separate, no bring together. So I can see that your questions sometimes, that is really followed by the book and the words, not really followed by the meaning and the practice. Do you understand? Also, you too much organize stages. You don't want it to go to, like the all stages bring together. You want it to be just one step, and you don't want it to mess. You think that like become mixing together is a problem. So it's created like your own thoughts very strongly, because you organize very stably one by one. That is a problem when you meditate and practicing. So that's why, right now I'm talking about the generation stage. Do you know what means a generation stage? Okay, in this book has a very detail about the generation stage. I have approved myself. I'm not pride, because when I read again in here is like really good generation stage meditation. The whole explain one by one. Very hard to find any other books. I don't know when I created this, some due to some blessings. It's, I get so many materials bring together, explain generation stage. So this generation stage, when you meditate practice, completion stage have go inseparable together. Okay, generation stage is visualizing, yeah. Completion stage is you knowing your own true nature, yes. Okay, so then when you meditate, the Yadam deity visualizes generation stage, but that Yadam deity, your own nature is recognized inseparable, because the Yadam, your own nature is same nature, not separate. It is emptiness. It is clear awareness, what you talk about all this natural mind. So that nature is inseparable with all the Yadam deity and our nature. In that state, okay, like talking about absolute truth in the meditation, Mahamudra states. Not we talking about in relatively all this Yadam and me same. No. That is also misunderstand, mistake, okay? Right?
Yeah.
Why we not same? Because we have delusion. We don't have a immeasurable law of compassion, right? We don't have realization. Buddha has. So Buddha has incredible accumulation merit. It's his accumulation merit is the same as the ocean, vast and big and deep. So we don't have that merit, accumulation merit. And right now we cannot say directly Buddha and me same, but when we have to say all the Buddha and we are same means you are in the natural state, okay? No draw state. So the no draw nature and the then enlightened nature is same nature. That moment is inseparable, same. So that time you visualize this Yadam that is appear to you in, or Yadam is in your mind. That Yadam is a generation, but it's inseparable with your mind. Do you get, understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so you visualize yourself is Buddha Shakyamuni, example, Buddha Shakyamuni, and you can visualize the form is kind of similar is Buddha Shakyamuni. Same time, you into your natural mind, no door states. Be in the no doors, and with awareness, present, clear, empty in that state. So then that moment you are Buddha Shakyamuni. Okay? So inseparable Buddha Shakyamuni. So that is a completion. Do you get or no?
Yeah.
Okay, no everyone okay. I can see in the Zoom also Mary understand then. So
We have a test next week.
many people saying this. Okay, so make sense. Things okay, good. Shakyamuni can visualize ourselves inseparable. Same. So now you can move to your mind is the same as a mirror. So you can show in the form is a Tara, you become inseparable with the Tara. Your mind is become same as a mirror, like you showing the medicine Buddha, your medicine Buddha, and your nature is inseparable. So you can be inseparable with all these enlightened beings. The reason is because pervasive of Dharma Kaya. So, that's we have to know. Then in that state, all the yadam oneness is not separate. But in the relative truth, all this yadam is different. So each yadam has different purpose and energy and accomplishments. So why is medicine Buddha? So medicine Buddha means on the path, his aspiration is who hear my name when I enlightened, who pray to me, free from disease, free from illness, free from sickness, get healings. So that is his aspiration. Because his form is transformed to the medicine color. That's why it's blue color is medicine. And so then you practice medicine. Buddha has more connection to this, the healing part. Yeah. So long life Buddha means also, on the relatively first, aspiration is long life is, who has short lives, who has life obstacles. And, that kind, his aspirations remove from that, aspiration is like free from that obstacle. So that aspirations arise is called long life Buddha. And that's we have to know it's different aspirations apart to the forms. But nature is still same. So you think about make the tea, the water is always the same, right? But you can make green tea, you can make jasmine tea, you can make black tea, you can make, which kind of tea. So 100 different teas. Yeah. So all these different teas.
You're breaking up more. Are you still using Rail's hotspot or do you want to use mine?
Oh, it's break up.
Yeah,
I can do it.
it's breaking up.
Do you want to use it, Kimbo?
I don't know. I didn't see it's break up.
I've gotten 2 messages.
Everyone okay in the Zoom hearing?
You
So-
are breaking up more, Kempo, and you have been off and on. I don't know if you're on a hotspot. We thought you had changed over.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm right here. I can turn mine
Okay.
on. Okay.
Okay, so now then I'm going to change it to the hotspot, but sometimes also have that we don't know which one is going on. Everyone has the same.
Okay.
Uh,
It's on my hotspot,
Okay, so now
iPhone 18.
I cannot find anyone.
Mine is off. On now.
I cannot find from anyone.
maybe I'll turn it off.
Okay, so iPhone. Hello. Husband makes more. Your husband has a very good birth.
I have, actually, I only have 2 birds right now.
I have more than 3.
Which ones are all-
What if you just go on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, Wi-Fi is much better.
Well, that's what he was on before and was cutting out, right?
Go back to Wi-Fi.
Okay, iPhone raw Angular.
Oh, you're there?
Yeah, you need a password.
Yeah, 1994. 1994.
Yes, can you share to the?
Oh, shit. Okay. You want to do that? Yeah, the share.
Four 1 9 9 9 9 1.
Okay.
Coming back soon. Because transforming.
Ah.
Changing take time. Come back again.
Yeah.
I'm moving or no?
Yes.
You're alive.
Okay. Zoom is still frozen here.
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah.
Ask Debbie.
Yeah, we have a really good internet. No, it's no questions. Okay, so everyone coming back again.
Okay.
So you're not frozen anymore?
No, no,
No.
Okay.
I'm not frozen. I'm alive. So, where we are? Debbie, do you know where we are? What talking
Debbie
about?
says it's better now.
I know where we are. Do you want to know?
No, it's that Zoom. You know, that's we are okay, but they lost some part.
122.
122.
Can you hear? No.
Yes, we can hear now. We were able to catch everything. Some of it was breaking up and you were freezing. So we stopped and you're okay.
I didn't freezing, Debbie. So that's a see, Dharmakaya is never freezing, you know. And so we are temporarily, you know, seeing is like freezing, but true nature is never frozen. That's a good, you know, example. Then I'm talking about, you know, the Yadam deity. So all the Yadam deity, we talk about essence is the same. You know, it's the same, all the different teas, all the tea need water. You know, without water, we cannot make the tea, right? But then each tea has different qualities. So that is the same is the different Yadam deities. So that's why, you know, we also have different connections. Sometimes you like to practice white Tara, some like to practice Chinreze, Manjushri, or different kind because we like to drink different teas. But all the tea is actually water, no any other than water. Then some tea is like more soft, some tea is more strong, and then more strong is a coffee. So then same, the peace for deities, wrath for deities. So some has more energy. The deities is called more wrath for deities. So the same is the coffee, very strong black coffee is wrath for Yamitaka. Okay, no sugar, no milk inside there, and pure black coffee, strong. Yeah, and then other like green teas, green Tara. Think about so energy and still have a caffeine and good. So then some is the same as jasmine tea, some is like more nighttime tea, calm down tea, calm tea. So it's different teas. That is the same as the Yidam deities. But no, we're not talking about the tea, we're talking about the water. That's why all the tea is water, same as all the Buddha has the same nature. It's same as our nature, inseparable. So that is when we are in the natural state, that moments we are inseparable with all the Yidam deities. When we are getting in the relative truth, we are separate. We are ordinary being, but enlightened beings is free from all these emotions and obstacles, have all the enlightened qualities. So we have a dualistic. Enlightened beings free from dualistic is no door. That's what we have to know. The main point is completion stage and the generation stage. When we meditate, practice, we have to bring together, inseparable. Okay, so when we share the teaching, we cannot put together. Have to follow by step. So that's why here says, meditation, where we are, so inseparable with, severity of the development and the completion stage. It's inseparable. It is only a matter of relaxing the mind in its natural states. So when we are in the, natural mind, in the natural states, that time, then we can say we are inseparable with enlightened beings. In the relaxing in the mind in its natural states, and not deviating from that nature of emptiness, clarity, emptiness, awareness. So in the nature, that states, not deviating, right? Divisions. Deviating is a separation, right?
It's going in a different direction.
Yeah, so that time is not going to different directions, inseparable, it's become one. Nature's emptiness and clarity, emptiness, awareness. Okay, so there is nothing else to meditate on, no meditation outside of and apart from this. So that time, then, nothing else to meditate on. Means like you are in the natural states. You don't have to do anything. So you just be in the natural states. That is called meditating. That is, you don't have to do any actions. So that is, we already talked lots and other teachings. There's nothing else to meditate on. No meditation outside of and apart from this means like that time then no shamatha, we're talking about focused breath. We're not talking about, create love, compassion. So relatively, so in that state, free from all this conceptual meditation. This is in non-conceptual states. On no meditation outside of and apart from this. And this where completely perform the 3 stage of the, okay, so that's extra way. So the main point is like when you are in that states, then nothing else we have to do, just in the nature and be that states, then we are meditating. So now we go to let it be meditate here. Okay, so teaching time is finishing. We do let it be meditate here. In this way, completely perform in the 3 stage of the, usually each section teaching and meditating. So no, right now here we just go directly into noodle states, and much of we can stay in the meditate short term. Wake up, everyone. Going to do the dedication. O Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma, Lord Gambopa, Pamotropa, Lord. This bestow upon us most auspicious bless of all Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve nations by defeating all enemies confusion. May all travelers on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it rise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Majeshri, the Vero realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantha Bada, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of unchanging Dharma exercise, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit shall bear fruit. By the virtue collected in the three times, by my seven oral beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teaching of Guru Digomparana Shiri, who is omniscient, Lord of Dharma, Master of Interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, untrained of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, good morning. Have a good sleep and a good day. Thank you. Thank you, translating. Thank you, organizers, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kempula.
Thank you, Samdu Rinpoche.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Thank you, Kepo.
Thank you, Guru Rinpoche.
Thank you, Samdu Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Rinpoche.
Now clubbing.
感恩不切，常住世间，
See you
转法
tomorrow.
轮。
感恩仁波切，感恩仁波切，感恩仁波切，感恩上师，感恩上师仁波切，感恩朋友。